they understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. It's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. Now, everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even if you're giving tangibly, I'm gonna have y'all come to the altar and give it, because I need to see 1,000 people moving. Bring them baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folk. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people online need to give $20. This is easy, saints.
I know you heard about the Marvin Sapp. That's the pastor that's been going around, the internet, for locking the doors, asking the congregation for $40,000. Right. I know specifically me, I don't go to church really at all. I haven't been in years. It's crazy because I don't think my kids really, I haven't took them to church at all, but for reasons like this, because, church is supposed to be about receiving the word, yeah, and, and stuff like that. And then now it seems like they make it more about money. Facts. So, I know my take on it is, I think it's wrong, because some people show up, they might not have a dime in their pocket, they showing up to hear the word or to get encouragement through the word. Facts. And I feel like if I was there, I'll never, once I did unlock the doors, I would have never came back. And I would have felt disrespected, and I would have not, even if I had the money, at that point in time, I wouldn't want to give it anyway. Right. Because of the way you demanded it. So, what's your take on that? Do you think that he was wrong for doing that? Because I do understand that, yes, churches don't live off of, the lights got to be paid, all that stuff got to be, bills still got to be paid in order for y'all to continue to come here. But I just don't think it's a vice versa thing. I think if most times when people need help, they used to be able to go to the church, but now they can't go to the church. The church, if you can't pay your bills, we ain't gonna lock the congregation to make sure my bills is paid. You get what I'm saying? So, what's your take on that?
Okay, that was a lot. But first of all, I want to say this right here. I want to say it ain't nothing wrong with giving back to the church. I remember growing up, every Sunday, Antioch Baptist Church on 45th and 31st. No, on 46th and 31st. 46th and 29th. Yeah, remember when I done took you to Miami before. Remember where my granddaddy stayed out of Miami? Yeah, I remember. Right next door was the church. So it's like, we grew up giving money back to the church. I remember my grandma used to give us the little dollars. They passed the little tray around, the little bread and shit. And, so, me owning a business, because there's two ways to look at it. It's a spiritual way, and then it's a business way too now. And we can't think about the business behind it, because sometimes that'll get lost too. So it's like I feel two different ways about it. Like at the end of the day, I feel like you should give back. Like they might say, okay, you got to give back 10% of your earnings on a spiritual level, right? But at the same time, it's like I'm just talking from a business standpoint. I feel like from a business standpoint, you know how much it costs to put together the smoke shop, pay your light bills, pay your real fee. So it's almost like a production. You know what I'm saying? They coming through, they sing, and they put the whole production, and the only way they get money through the congregation. So I don't mind. Like when you look at it, like when you take the spiritual aspect out of it and say, man, it's a business. How can we help support the business when they helping giving us the word? I feel like you should look out. You should, give some. I don't know about no 10%, but you should give something back to the church when the pastor is giving the word. Receiving the word, and they doing a good job. I like the service. You should give out. But it's a thin line when you kind of like demanding. You know what I'm saying? He made everybody close the door and say, man, it's $2,000 of y'all times 20. That's $40,000, right? So now it's like if you would have said, damn, congregation, we trying to raise $40,000 to take care of A, B, or C, now we got some context of what's going on. Because we done had, it done been in the history of these preachers where they might get a $40,000, they buying private jets, they buying vacations. So it's like, what is the $40,000 for? You feel me? So that's my take on it. If the $40,000 was something that was going to benefit the church or benefit the congregation as a whole, and we was all striving to get something together, that's something different. But if you locking the doors and demanding these people give you $20 a piece, even though the $20 is petty, and that might be a mega church. I don't know how big the church is. 1,000 people is a lot. I think our church might hold 250 people. So
the average church don't even hold.
So 1,000, that's a mega church. Yeah. So these people be full up. But if you can't demand it, like you can't demand it. If you left for the word, like you said, a lot of people come there for the word. If you there for the word, you ain't got a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, I feel like you should not have to give, or it should not be no obligation to give, right? But at the same time, being a businessman, it's like, damn, I want somebody to give a little bit if I'm putting together the vibe. So, was he wrong? Right? Was he wrong? You feel me? And I think it just depends on who you asking. You feel me? I don't necessarily think he was wrong for asking for the money, but I feel like you wrong if you want the money and it ain't nothing to benefit the church. Or if you want the money and we ain't saying, man, we got a massive church event we got going on, we trying to raise the money. If you just raising it on GP, I feel like it could be wrong. Like it could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I would have never did if I was the pastor.
Yeah, because $40,000 in just one night. So then, what you gonna want us to raise another $40,000 when we come back? So it's
that's
like,
why
what is it? Like you say, what is it for? What are we using these funds for? Is it to feed the community? Is it to make sure the kids have tutoring? Is it to make sure, you get what I'm saying? Because you got to still understand this. Church is still a non-profit.
It's non-profit. So ain't nobody paying the congregation, ain't nobody praying the preachers, ain't nobody praying. So non-profit is.
And the ushers are doing this job for free. Like you got to understand.
So
the pastor is he's putting together everything, but everybody else don't get paid. The ushers don't get paid. That's part of giving back.
Part of the collection go towards paying these individuals. You know that.
It's supposed to. Most people.
No. That's.
That's not their only job.
No, I know that, but I'm saying, and I could be wrong. My understanding was through the church, the ushers get paid through that salary.
Not my understanding, because I know plenty of ushers who don't get paid. They just an usher.
So if anybody,
you're part of the choir, you don't get paid for being part of the choir.
That's a question I want to ask.
Volunteering you to sing.
That's a question I want to ask the people. If y'all know, if anybody got experience in the church or experience in the finances of the church, hit the chat and let us know. But I think if he was raising that money for a good cause, it would have made sense. If you ain't raising that money for a good cause, it don't make sense. And that's what I think about the whole conversation. You know what I'm saying? If you in position to give back and help support your local church, do it. If you're a preacher and if you in position to help, and that's another thing I want to put out there. Y'all can't be like, y'all be asking to raise this money and raise these 40s and 50s and 60s and 70,000, and then when somebody have a situation they in, a light bill, a foreclosure, you feel me? We want that same church to be able to come through and help the people too. Right. So it got to be, I always say the same thing, a relationship works two ways. I'm giving you and I'm feeding you and I'm looking out for you as a church. When we need it as a congregation, we need y'all to have the same energy and the same effort. So that's my take on the church and Buddy doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? When them people need you, you got to be the same person to step up and lock them doors for somebody who need $40,000 when they house in foreclosure. Lock them doors when somebody need $40,000 to pay for they granddaughter college tuition, and this grandma been raising this jit since a baby. So if the energy could go both ways, we could respect it.
Right.
And if it's a one-way street, we could never respect a relationship that's the only one-way street. So it got to be a two-way street. That's my take on it, man.